Welcome to He's on Fire.
Hi guys, how are we all doing? As the kids have said, welcome to He's on Fire. This is video number 3. How are we all doing in the 8th week of lockdown? It does seem never ending. I'm pleased to be back at work for the last 3 weeks, but yeah, very strange, missing family, missing friends. So I thought every week on my videos I'll give you a random fact about me. So fact number 1 for this week is I love a good cup of tea. You cannot beat a cup of tea. I can't remember the last day I went without having at least 1 cup of tea a day. And it's got to be made right. Tea bag in the cup, hot water in first, leave to brew, tea bag out, sugar in, stir well, semi-skim milk in, 2 sugars, perfect. And that's the only way to make a proper brew, guys. So yeah, that's a random fact about me. And then over the next few weeks, hopefully I'm going to do a bit of a Bible character each week and a bit of a study, a bit of a talk about them. So this week I'm going to do one on Peter. Surprise, surprise. But actually he's one of my favourite Bible characters. So yeah, so here we go. As most of you know, Peter was Brother Andrew. He was a fisherman, so as a fisherman he'd be impulsive, aggressive, very physically strong, had to deal with a lot of situations out at sea, but they were also known for being uneducated, so weren't known for their intelligence. I think some of his impulsiveness was shown in John 18:10 when the Roman soldiers came to arrest Jesus and he cut off Malchus's ear. Just showed his impulsiveness, but as well as impulsiveness, I think it showed his love for Jesus, to want to protect him. So again, you see 2 sides of Peter, and as we go through, you will see he has 2 sides to him. I think I've heard the saying, Peter is a complicated and imperfectly perfect man. I think that sums him up well, but I love him because he makes me realise that nobody's perfect, and he was there with Jesus and he still made so many mistakes, and it's just like us now. How many times do we get things wrong? So yeah, I think that's why I love him. Another reason is because effectively he was a nobody. He was a fisherman and he had a temper, he had no patience, probably had a foul language being a fisherman. Like I said before, he didn't have an education. Yet this is the person Jesus chose to have in his inner circle with James and John. And he has such a close relationship with Peter. And you think, well, why would you pick him? I wouldn't pick him if I wanted somebody to come along and tell the gospel and tell everybody the good news. But Jesus chose him, which it's like, wow, if he chose Peter, he could choose me. I could do stuff like this. And then we've got the story in Luke 5, verse 1 to 11, when Jesus went out into the sea and told them to throw the nets back out to go and get the fish. And they'd been out all day and out all night and caught nothing. And they were probably thinking, no way am I doing this. Why are we going to cut the nets out? We've caught nothing all day. But he was obedient to Jesus, which again, I love. That we've caught nothing all day. We've literally done everything we know. We're fishermen, we know what we're doing. And Jesus says, take out your net. And he just did it. And I can imagine him doing it now. This ain't going to work. And then he takes the nets out. And the load of fish was that full. It was tearing the net. Literally tearing the nets. There was that much fish. And it's just... I just how Jesus replied to Peter. When Peter said, I don't know what to say, sort of thing, but don't be afraid. From now on, you'll be fishing for people. And he just literally then and then dropped everything. That was his job, that was his livelihood, that's how he ate, that's how he provided, and he just dropped it all for Jesus. He just had that instant connection and that love for Jesus that, wow, I'm going to follow this man. And then again, we've also got in Luke 9 verse 20, when Jesus asked the disciples, but who do you say I am? And I just love, without hesitation, Peter goes, you are the Messiah sent from God. All the other disciples were there, but he was the first one to respond. I just love his boldness and his confidence. Yes, sometimes that got him into trouble, but I love that he was just out there for Jesus. And he had such a close relationship as well, which is so important. And he realised how important that is. I think that's something we can learn today, that we're on this earth, but having a relationship with Jesus is everything, and that's how we should just strive to have that relationship with him. It's just about being in his presence, spending time with him in worship, in prayer. And life's so busy, but at the minute, quite a lot of us have got time to have some downtime. Just spend that time with Jesus, because it just changes everything. But then, like the man he is and was, like we all had failings. He had mighty faith. He was the only person in the Bible, and Jesus, that walked on water. What did he do? He took his eyes off Jesus and he began to sing. And that's like, wow, that says it all. You take your eyes off Jesus and you start to sing. How many times have we taken our eyes off Jesus in situations of taking a turn for the worse? How many times have we spent less time in the Bible and less time in prayer and worship, and we feel life's getting to us? That's what it's all about, guys. It's about spending time in his presence. And then he did the ultimate betrayal. He denied Jesus 3 times. He'd been with him for 3 years, studying, learning, spending every meal with him. And then he denied him 3 times. And it's like, me, I'd be like, you can't forgive me for that. How many things have we done in our life that we think, wow, I can't be forgiven for that. I've ruined it. But what I love is after the resurrection, Peter became the spokesman for the disciples. This uneducated fisherman spoke with boldness. On the day of Pentecost, 3,000 people heard the good news from Peter and became Christians. And you're just like, wow. It's like, he just did such amazing things with his life. And he never decried Christ again, despite persecution, imprisonment, and ultimately death. He never denied Christ again. I love the story as well, as he baptised the Gentiles for the first time. It's like taking the gospel into all the world. That was Peter as well. He's got the keys to heaven. He's such a prominent person in the Bible. And yes, he made mistakes. We all make mistakes, but he was on a journey. And it's just, I love how the Holy Spirit the time with Jesus, and the Holy Spirit transformed this person who was uneducated, impulsive, aggressive, fast-tempered man, and transformed him into the man of God who, despite his failings, and he's still got things wrong, had this just amazing love for Jesus. I think that's the thing about Peter. He's just like one of us. He makes mistakes, he says things he shouldn't, he reacts when he shouldn't. But what I love about him is how confident he was in his faith, how much love he had for Jesus, how outspoken he was for Jesus. He's the Messiah, he said. He just come out and said it. He walked on water because he had the faith. Yes, he took his eyes off Jesus, but he walked on water. And it just challenges today. Will we walk on water? Will we take that step for Jesus? Or will we just model along? I just challenge you today, guys, to step out there for Jesus. Step onto that water. Talk to people. Tell people about this amazing person called Jesus.
1 Peter 5 verse 7. Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you.
Yeah, guys, that's the end of week 3. That's the more of a structure how I'm going to do each of these. So if you like it, if you don't, you got any ideas or feedback, please get in touch. And I will see you next time.
Bye, guys. And remember, take our taste and give the who's thumbs up.